exciting young talent she is, the 24-year-old. Played basketball for Bulleen. Was found by Talent Search. Daisy Pearce, in fact, found her late in 2015. There's Lily Mithen. Second term at Ikon Park, Saturday night football. It's the Pies by 12 points. King and Pearce in the ruck. It spills to O'Day. She gets it on the boot quickly, a little nudge from Morgan. The umpire spotted it. Advantage is paid. It's taken by Mithen. Awkward kick to the pocket. And that'll allow the Pies to clear, but only momentarily, because Mithen will get it back. A young 18-year-old from Geelong. Such a talent, 10-year prospect for the D's. She tracks it towards the line, can't keep it alive, and she's bundled over. Lily Mithen.
Lil's definitely a future superstar of the game, and she can play small, but she can also play tall and take some great marks in that forward 50. Captain
the Victorian Country Youth Girls. Smothered off the boot. Ball still alive. Again, smothered off Mithen's boot. And it's rushed over the line by Melissa Keyes. Melissa making her debut. 29-year-old from the Roeville Hawks, and she's captain of Knox. Well, she was, now it's Box Hill. Taken over that licence in the VFL for 2017, making her AFLW debut tonight.
Be coached by Patrick Hill, former Frankston VFL coach, when their season commences in May. He's inside forward 50, trailing by 2 straight kicks. Watton shovels it to White, who looks like she's got the run with roll on Daisy Pearce at the moment. She's noted for a relentless run and also capacity to be selfless, and she'll need to be on one of the true stars of this competition. Daisy Pearce last week, 19 possessions and 10 tackles in that loss to Brisbane. As we mentioned, a quiet start so far tonight. Needs to get going if her team are going to run down this, and almost that time on the scene. O'Day there to shark the clearance though, sends it inside 50 again, and Kiochi on Mithen. Steph Kiochi. So task orientated, a perfect call by Collingwood to make her their inaugural captain, and she's had an outstanding start to the night. 6 possessions, all kicks. That's how she does her damage from defence. Anderson and King in the ruck. Bobbles around, Pearce in there again. Diving desperately in there was Morgan. Barden lost her footing, and White happy to see it over the line. A little bit of just drizzle in that first quarter, which has probably left a slight amount of grease on the surface here at Ikon Park, which will mean the ball should skid straight and true for the players, but handling may be a little bit of an issue. Anderson the tap. Cops a kick from Barden. Keyes, who's working really hard, gets the clearance. Down the line, Darcy flies through. Smith for company. Once again, we'll have another stoppage. So an arm wrestle in the opening couple of minutes of this second term of what is simply a must-win match for both these teams.
It's Catherine Smith on Sarah Darcy. King in the ruck again against Pearce. Pearce got to the front, but that's where the Collingwood's numbers are. Barden throws it on her boot. Half volley for Darcy. Ricocheted to Casey, back to Darcy. A lot of space to work in, but plenty of numbers in support. King couldn't get it to boot quickly enough. She's run down. The D's arrived in number. This is Jasmine Grierson. All in under the bottom of that pack. Umpire says holding the football. Free kick to Sarah Darcy. 25-year-old from Hillsville. Thumping kick from Hutchins. Taken by Hickey. She gets it and goes. Looks for an option in the middle of the ground. It was a brave kick to Scott. Slight fumble. Mithen bumped off it. She'll go again, does Lily Mithen. Has a couple of players in support, including Deanna Berry. She marks just forward. Centre half back. Kicks to a 4-on-1. All Collingwood there, and the numbers should win out. Keyes. Awkward handball. Misses the target. Keyes thought about hesitation there, really. And Mithen pounced. But Darcy to Benici. Off balance. Pitches just inside the line and out. So a bit of a stalemate early in this second term. Neither team able to string together any free-flowing, meaningful chains of possession. There's Karen Paxman and Elise O'Day, 2 critical midfielders for the D's. Paxman leading the way with 6 possessions for Melbourne. Darcy's had 8 for the Pies as Grant slaps it back towards the line, and will do it all again.
Been really impressed with Sarah Darcy's game so far, and especially against Carlton last week, and as we're seeing, she's had 8 touches at the moment, but just her ability to get that handball out when she's in tight situations. Yeah, she's had a great start tonight.
It's Daisy Pearce and Elise O'Day at the moment around the contest, but work from Morgan to tackle O'Day. Get the free kick, so Collingwood a chance for their first real foray into attack in this second quarter. Hope on the lead, Grant there as well. Kick skew if, and it'll be a D's footy.
Let's head boundary side, Sam.
Thanks, Chase. Yeah, just a bit of intel out of Melbourne during the week. In their review of the Brisbane Lions loss, the feeling was that their relatively inexperienced forward line just kept getting sucked up the ground against the Lions. It left the cupboard bare. I'm sure Katie Brennan will have her eyes all over how they function here tonight.
Yeah, Sam, they had the most inside 50s of any team in round 1. They had 30 entries, yet they only kicked 1 goal for, albeit in difficult conditions. But Brisbane, roughly half the inside 50s, and they kicked 4 goals, 1. So it was obviously an area of great focus for Mixton here during the week.
And at the moment, 1 goal from 11 entries inside 50. The Pies 3 from their 9. So once again, it's telling a story in the competition. Admittedly, a 6-game sample to work off so far, but it's the way to play. Pearce getting busy in this second term. Off to Smith. Benici almost there to chop it off on Paxman. She'll go again, Benici, and find her way out. It's Grant. She'll take on Smith. She's stripped, goes back in, brings the ball in. Not claimed, though. And Emma Grant, after copying that head knock in the second quarter last week, almost a similar situation there. She took on the original tackle, and we see her go in again. Incidental contact from Smith. Emma Grant, okay. O'Day trying to work really hard at the coalface at the moment. Will this ball forward? Hutchins having none of it. Paxman, she can't find a way out. And once again, every time a Melbourne player wants to find a second space, there's a black and white jumper there, and Bree White working really hard through the midfield in this second quarter. She'll hand off to Hutchins, who's one of Collingwood's longer kicks. In the Hope direction, does the body work on Hickey. Garner, Eva, around the body. Long, deep, Bernardi underneath. Couldn't complete it. So Bernardi, one of those opportunities. It's not so much even getting the ball inside 50 into that dangerous 20 to 30 metre zone from goal, and Collingwood will get another look from this stoppage.
Pearce in the ruck against Eva. It's a mismatch in size. Ball spills to ground. It's Kat Phillips with a chance. Here's Cameron, one of the better kicks in the AFLW. Ball back inside once again, but only as far as Meg Downey. And the D's will repel. Duray, outside 50, it'll spill nicely for Livingston. Picks it up, throws it on her boot. They'll contest 25 from goal. Here goes Cameron. And Jess Cameron, as I mentioned, one of the better kicks in the AFLW. In fact, as far as Coach Wayne Seekman's concerned, he says she's the best kick in the competition. 117 games of cricket for Australia, 2,300 runs, World T20 champion. Now, chance to kick a goal for the black and white.
Really great work by Jess Cameron there. She just protected the drop zone and just took the mark on the chest. I think the D's will be pretty disappointed with that one. They had about 3 or 4 people back and just sitting behind Jess Cameron. She just protected that drop zone really well and read the footy the best.
Katie, we heard Coach Mixton here say in the Melbourne huddle at quarter time, offensively they're okay, defensively they're struggling. It still continues to be an issue. There seems to be so much space inside that forward 50 for the Pies.
Yeah, it does, and it seems like the girls aren't really standing in the right positions. They have dropped one back, but we saw that they just weren't probably a kick behind play. They were half a kick behind play, so that player is not really being used and just sitting in no man's land at this stage.
Kat Phillips butters up. Handball around the corner for Downey. Mithen lost the handle on it. Collingwood there a number. Barton, desperate, just dived straight forward on the footy and rewarded for her efforts with a high one from Smith. Barton sends it again in the Cameron direction. She comes from the back and chopped Downey in the process. Meg Downey, none too pleased. Been teammates. So Jess Cameron with the chop, and now Mel Hickey just trying to inject a bit of calm into this Melbourne play. Took 8 minutes for that first Collingwood goal. The turn, Bernardi might make it 2. Denies Berry, has to regather. Berry goes back into claimer and she was high. Just the little mistakes Melbourne can ill afford at the moment. And Bernardi will get another look after almost making them pay from that intercept attempt.
It was the right idea by Melissa Hickey there, just trying to switch the play and open it up on the other side, but the skill execution just didn't pay off there.
Just the 4 possessions last week for Bernardi. Did kick a goal in the practice match against the Western Bulldogs. Teacher at Ivanhoe Grammar School. She's a pretty lively forward tonight. 30 goals last year in the VFL Women's League. Keeps this low, and we have our first blemish on the scoreboard. Just past the halfway point of this second quarter. Collingwood well deserving of their 19-point advantage.
Contested possessions in this second term, 22-9 in favour of Collingwood. That's where they're taking control of the game around the contests. Maybe a chance here for the D's. Some fancy footwork from Phillips. Buys herself some space. Pearce pokes it down the line. Livingston dropped the mark. Now under some pressure at ground level. To Grant. Kick partly smothered off her boot by Mithun. Pearce, nice gather. Slips away from Cameron. Paxman. Boyd, back to Pearce. Can the D's get some free-flowing football? Here's some overlap run from Paxman. She receives from Pearce. Kick partly smothered. Mifsud, Grierson, and now they might be a chance to get out. A slight fumble. Put Jolly under pressure, and then she turns the football over. It could be the Pies who benefit. Kula Reid. And Garner slides in to take the mark. The opportunity goes begging for Melbourne. As Garner pumps it to Mo Hope. Flew from behind, never a chance to mark. Gang tackle taken down by 3. We'll have a ball up 45 metres from the Collingwood goal. They lead by 19 points with just over 4 minutes remaining in this second term. Here's Pearce getting involved again. Almost a throw as she was taken to ground. Again, Collingwood's forward pressure really good to lay some strong tackles, hold that football in their attacking zone as Lily Mithun gets up. The D's living dangerously right now as Collingwood circle. Benici, she lays some tackle pressure as well. There's Brittany Benici working hard around the stoppages, which is where Collingwood's taken control of this match. Kyes couldn't take the football with her. Benici wrapped up and taken down by Daisy Pearce, and we'll do it all again. It's advanced 5 metres. We're now 40 metres from the Collingwood goal.
Just the 1 goal in this quarter so far to Jess Cameron for the Pies. Hickey will tow it off the ground. Benici for company. Barden, who's been everywhere. Ricochet handball from Scott. Pearce is released, her 6th touch of the term. Boyd, the kick is shallow. Edwards will send it back with interest. Darcy hands to it. Hope at the fall. Darcy kept her footing. It's a high one. And it's going to go against Mo Hope. So Kat Smith, she's been under siege in defence in this term for the D's. Try and restore some calm and get it somewhere in the Melbourne attacking zone. Not a lot happening forward at the moment for Mick Stinier's team. That kick shallow as well, and it ricochets off the knee of Brittany Benici and just catches the chalk.
We had some promising signs from Melbourne there, just getting their link play going and working down this wing here. We need to see that a little bit more. We see that Daisy Pearce is starting to get involved, and she's got a few handballs and getting some chains happening. But at this stage, it's all locked up in these stoppages.
Patterson almost high on Kyes. Evil will keep it locked in. See Mel Kyes coming out of shot there for a spell. So a goal here. Under 2 minutes to play in the opening half. Really put Collingwood in the box seat going into half-time. Barden, DeRay, Garner kept her footing, as did Watton. In again goes Barden and just tries to take a couple of Ds with her. She'll get the benefit of the doubt. Sensational game so far. 8 possessions to lead the Pies alongside Darcy, but it's been her effort in the contest. Watton slaps it forward. O'Day is clean and clear in traffic and just tries to thump it clear. What have the D's got forward?
Coming to present was Anderson. Is the fast break on for the D's? Foot race begins. Lampard got 3 to beat, got the bounce. Kiochi just denied her, dumped her though in the tackle. Free kick D's. Lampard's got Humphries and Scott scooting forward. What can she create? Direct inside 50. Pies are there in number. Edwards did well. Needs composure here. The West Australian finds it in Benici.
He's got Stevens for company. Needs to get rid of it quickly. Good tackle from behind from Lampard. Force the turnover. And the D's have got 40 seconds. Mithen brings it inboard. They need to be tidy here. It's been an issue for Melbourne so far in the 6 quarters they've played in AFLW. Haven't been able to string together those chains of possession. Anderson to Mithen. Hugs the line, and once again they turn it over. So as the clock ticks down to half-time, it's going to be Collingwood with a handy advantage at the main break. Ball's in the hands of Steph Kiochi, their captain. And that's where it will finish. So half-time at Ikon Park as Bree White comes together with her opponent, Shelley Scott. And at half-time, it's the Magpies, 4-1-25. Melbourne won straight 6. The Pies adding 1 goal, 1 in that second term. The D's didn't score. So it's Collingwood by 19 points at the major break. 5 scoring shots to 1. Karen Paxman leads the way for Melbourne with 8 possessions. Mithen Smith and Pearce all with 7. But it's the Pies in control. Here's their skipper, Steph Kiochi, with Sam.
Thanks, Jason. Steph, you've just had a chat to the umpire. What were you checking out?
Oh, just clarifying that last free kick. I didn't think it was dangerous, but, you know, just good to clarify.
And in much better position than this time last week. What are you happy about? What do you need to keep an eye on?
Yeah, absolutely. I think our talk's up, which has really helped our case, and we're moving the ball a lot better. That's much better footy from us, and that's how we want to play the game.
Spontaneous team huddle. I'll let you get into it.
Thanks very much.
So Collingwood looking good. They lead by 19 points at the major break. It's Saturday night football from Ikon Park. Collingwood 4-1-25. Melbourne 1 straight 6.